Chicago has always been home, and I think always will be. I mean, I don't see really any reason to leave. Right out of school, you know, went to then Anderson Consulting, now Accenture, and kind of landed in a group there that was great, really thinking about kind of advanced technology, and was able to meet some great people and do some nice work, including met actually during that first stint all kind of 3 people that ended up being co-founders with me on most of the companies that you see up here. And then in '96, kind of the web happened, and Dick Costello and I left to form a 3-person, well, I guess there was one other too, a 3-person consulting company to do kind of web development at the time. So this is a while ago. And then we were, acquired in '97. It was really just like, a talent acquisition for, hey, we need 3 technical people, and you guys are 3 technical people. Let's acquire you. And we're like, ooh, we're acquired. But then when you go back and actually run the numbers, it's like, those were just 3 signing bonuses, It was, but that's okay. And had fun kind of building up. Digital Knowledge Assets was a company that we created like this proto-blogging platform. This is back in '97, and we're actually featured at a couple of the same conferences at the same time Blogger.com was, and I think we know probably the rest of the story there. The problem was we were focused on the enterprise space, and they were kind of focused everywhere. So anyway, it was actually a really good experience, and then kind of really got to know some more people in building the team and learning about kind of the first run of really like running and building a startup that way. So this is all about lessons learned and failures and what lessons you could take with you as you move through the different companies here. And then so after that, and this is a little bit of a theme, what we did is me and the 3 other guys, Dick Costello, Matt Shobe, and Steve Olakowski, there were the 4 of us that kind of had an affinity because we each had the right kind of mix of interests and talents and expertise. So it was just we weren't all 4 techie guys or 4 business guys or something like that. There was a good mix, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But this is something that we did a couple times. We left and we formed a little consulting company, the 4 of us, called Burning Door, and we used that to actually half the time, half the man hours were done consulting. The other half was kind of incubating some different concepts for potential products or companies that we might want to build. And so we did that, and out of that came SpyOnIt.com, which was a web-based alerting platform. This is back in '99 when, whenever you had a question about what web development should like, you'd ask, what would Yahoo do? Because Yahoo was the top web property. So so we actually developed SpyOnIt.com. It was like you would set up these spies, and they were alerts. So let me know when there's 6 inches of snow at Mammoth, or when my stock hits this level, or my name gets mentioned somewhere on the web, and it would notify you via email or SMS or IM about whatever those alerts were. And that was acquired in 2000 by 724 Solutions, not 24/7 Media, or so. Those 3 numbers get juxtaposed a lot. But 724 Solutions was actually a mobile banking platform out of Canada. And they were looking for basically a way to do financial-based alerting that they could sell into different banks and things like that. And there was a technology fit there, so they actually acquired SpyOnIt.com. We got to stay here in Chicago, didn't have to move anywhere, and actually continue to grow the team here. We ended up doing that for about 3 years. The product ended up kind of dissipating through their stack, their technology stack. So they're really, SpyOnIt, the brand, just kind of, I guess it wasn't a really good fit for financial institutions, to brand a product like that. So it kind of dissipated. And then when our employment agreements were up and the incentives were up for that, and there really wasn't a whole lot of new development going on there, the 4 of us ended up leaving, reforming Burning Door, doing the half consulting, half incubating thing again. And out of that came the idea for FeedBurner. And then that's the company that we grew and built up here in Chicago until in June of 2007. It was acquired by Google, and again, we got to stay here in Chicago, as Kevin mentioned. That was actually really important to us. That we could stay here. And then Pete Berner is still alive and well within Google, and actually most of the team that was brought on is still there, either working on the product or related efforts here in Chicago. I left in June of 2009 and was kind of poking around for different things to do, and then the opportunity for BrightTag came up in March of last year, and it was just the kind of problem that I'm really attracted to, which is you know, if we do it right, it's something that's going to have to scale massively and be very redundant and globally available and distributed and things like that. And it's a really hard engineering problem, and one that actually was kind of similar to some of the previous problems. So it's like, I get to kind of take the mistakes that I learn and make new mistakes with this, and not, you know, do the same ones and learn that. And so far, that's proven to be true. I've got all sorts of new mistakes.